JavaScript treats its primitive data types as objects whenever its properties and functions are executed. I have a primitive data type here, which is a sentence, and the value is John goes to school every day. Now let's say if I want to find out how many characters are there in this sentence, then I could use strings length property. For that, I'm going to say sentence.length, and this will return number of characters in this sentence. Let's store this in a value and then print that value in our demo1 paragraph. Now if I refresh the page, click on submit, it's going to print 28 because that's how many characters are there in this string. If I remove one of the characters from here and then refresh the page and click on submit, it's going to print 27 because we just removed a character from here. You can also call its functions. Let's say if I want to convert my sentence into an uppercase sentence, I could call is toUppercase function. For that, I'm gonna say let value equal to sentence toUppercase. If I hover over this function, it's gonna say it converts all the alphabetical characters in a string to uppercase. Now if I refresh the page and click on submit, it's gonna print my sentence as uppercase sentence. And same thing you can do with lowercase too. Let's say if I want to convert my sentence into lowercase, I can say toLowercase and invoke that function. If I refresh the page, click on submit, it's gonna print my sentence in lowercase. You can also use its replace method. Let's say if you want to replace a particular word with another word, then you can use replace method for that. Let's say if I want to replace John with Jane, then I'm gonna say let value equal to sentence.replace. And if I invoke this method, then it's going to ask me two parameters. One is going to be John, and another is going to be the value that I'm going to replace John with. So I'm going to say John, and I want to replace John with Jane. So I'm going to put that value there. And now if I refresh the page and click on submit, then it's going to print Jane goes to school instead of John because it replaced that value. You can also check its includes function, which checks if the value is included in the sentence or not. Let's say if I want to check if the word school is in the sentence or not, then I can use its includes method and pass school's word in it. If I hover over this, it returns Boolean value. It will tell if the school is in the sentence or not. If I refresh the page, click on submit, it's going to print true because school is in the sentence. But if I change the school to capital S school and then refresh the page and then click on submit, it's going to print false because it's case sensitive. You can also check its ends with and starts with functions. Let's say if I want to check if the sentence ends with the word every day, then refresh the page, click on submit, it's going to print true because the sentence does end with every day. Let's say if I remove this day and just check every and then refresh the page and click on submit, it's going to print false because the sentence ends with every day, not every. You can also check one character if you like. Let's say if you want to check if the sentence ends with Y and then refresh the page and click submit, it's going to print true because sentence does end with Y, but it's case sensitive. So if I check capital Y, then it's going to return false because it's capital Y. And same thing with starts with. If I want to check if the sentence starts with J, it's going to return true because it does. And you can also check a word here. So I'm going to check John. And now if I refresh the page, click on submit, it's going to print true here. So this is how you can use these properties and functions. There are many functions like index of, last index, slice, substring. But before I jump into those functions, I think it's important to understand what arrays are and what index is before we jump into those big functions. But before I jump into arrays, let's first talk about what number methods are in the next section.